Yo, what is up, YouTubers? GIV here, coming at you guys with another Yu-Gi-Oh! Deck profile. Today we'll be doing a deck profile starring Machines. Now, this is not a machine deck or a Gear deck or a Kakuri deck. This is just a random machine deck that I put together, and I've got to say it's probably one of the most consistent decks I've ever ran. So let's just go ahead and jump straight to it. To start out this deck, we've got our triple Machinez gear frame. Now, he's used to fetch out your Machinez Fortress, which I also run triples of. T-King is a problem with this deck, so I do main board 3 Cyber Dragons to either bait out him or to bait out the back rows. Either way, he works out great. Tinplate Goldfish. Now that he's legal, I'm definitely going to be rocking trays of this dude because he is the engine of the deck. You go Tinplate, and to one of the gadgets, I run doubles of each. 2 green, 2 red, and 2 yellow. So basically, they can't Veiler the Tinplate, so they gotta waste their Veilers on one of the gadgets. And even if they do get Veilered, that's okay, because you can overlay into your Gear X, detach, add another gadget or another Tinplate from your deck to your hand, and just start the loop again next turn. This deck has so much hand advantage over your opponent, it's ridiculous, which leads us to our next card, or cards. Double Trag. He can get beefy as shit with this deck. He can become a 3K or 36K. 36 beat stick easy with this deck. It's ridiculous. So definitely need double Trag. And 1 Gores. You can either sit on him and poke at your opponent, or you can use him to help make the big eye with your Machinez Fortress play. So that's it for the monster lineup. It's 21 monster count. Let's go ahead and move on to the spells. For the spells, I'm always a big fan of running the Night Beam and double MST because, you know, opponents nowadays starting to chain their back rows a lot more, and Night Beam really puts a stop to that. So definitely love that combo. Our Trinity, Heavy Storm, Dark Hole, Reborn, shit that's never going to change. It is a machine type deck, so limiter removal, yeah. Pot of Avarice, because you do burn through your cards pretty quick with this deck. You need a refuel, so. And the late game play, Overload Fusion. I'll explain this later. That's it for spells. Let's go ahead and move on to traps. For the traps, we've got our Solemn Duo, Warning and Judgment. Double Torrential, because I really don't give a shit about getting my monsters to the graveyard, and my opponent does, so this card works out great. I don't main any Veilers, so Triple Phoenix Chain, the brokest trap in the game right now. This card is very needed. Double Bottomless, 1 Mirror Force, and a Starlight Road to protect it all. That's it for the deck. It's a 41 count. Let's go ahead and move on to the extra deck. For the extra deck, we've got Big Eye, which can be made so easily with this deck. Zinmile for extra back row hate, you know, in case I ever got 2 Cyber Dragons on field. Very circumstantial, but needed. Adrius for the annoying face-ups. Shockmaster, Stunner. 2 Gear X's. Only 2 because, you know, I need to make space for my other Xyz monsters, and quite frankly, this guy is hard to come across, so whenever you do come across him, you know, people are throwing him out there for ridiculous prices, so basically I can't afford it. 1 Deguster Emerald. He's basically your Pot of Avarice and a monster, and Monster Reborn for all vanilla type monsters. Works out great. Cowboy. This dude just wins games. I mean, there's been countless times I've had my opponent down to 500, 300 life points left. They think, okay, it's my turn. No. Overlay Cowboy. Detach. Burn 8. Good games. Yeah, he's a boss. Black Ship of Corn, because he's Black Ship of Corn. I mean, gets over Zinmains, gets over Reaper and Maulin. He's great. Gets over that Cyber Dragon. Pearl for that new Evil Swarm Ophion that's going to be coming out. 50 over. Yeah, say goodbye, bitch. Maystruck, Book of Moon and a monster. Fairy King debuffs all non-Earth type monsters on the field by 500, and you can use his effect once per turn. And he's a 23k beat stick, so yeah. And you know, mostly all the monsters in my deck are Earth type. Chimeratech Overdragon. For you people who've watched my Kakuri video, probably know what this card does, but I'll go ahead and explain it again. I can banish from my side of the field or my graveyard machine type monsters, including a Cyber Dragon, listed to get him out. Let's say I banish 6, he gets 800 attack times 6, and then he can attack 6 times. Now, he can't hit your opponent directly 6 times, but he can attack all your opponent's monsters 5 times and then hit your opponent directly for the 6th attack. So he works out great. The only downside about him is you have to destroy all other cards you control whenever he's summoned. But that's basically why you want to make sure your opponent's field is clear before you get him out, because, you know, Phoenix Chain, Bottomless, even Valor can hurt him. But, you know, he's a great late game play. And Chimera Tech Fortress Dragon for the mirror matches. Dusty for the road. And the Gorse token. I play this in every deck, you know. Even if I don't run Gorse, I'll just slap this on top of my extra deck. You know, it makes my opponent more reluctant in attacking me. It's just a good bluff, so. Because nobody wants that Gorse dropped on them. But anyways, that's it for the Yu-Gi-Oh! Deck profile. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Comment, rate, subscribe, and, you know, throw your suggestions down below. I'm always open to suggestions. You guys know that. I'm actually going to take this deck to my locals this weekend and see if I can't top with it. But yeah, keep on the lookout for more YouTube videos, and I'll be seeing you guys later, alright? Peace out.